Mombasa after midnight, and the city's clubs are filling with white male European tourists ogling and fondling teenage girls. The teenagers wear high heels or pay a bribe at the door to get in. The ultimate prize is a mzungu, or white man, who will pay for sex 5 times what a Kenyan labourer can earn in a day. But the price these girls are paying is a stolen childhood. Anastasia says she's 13 now and has been prostituting herself since she slept with a British tourist at the age of 10, a crime which back in Britain would be classed as rape. Her parents couldn't even afford school shoes, so she set out for a better life amid the bright lights of Mombasa. That life is sharing a flat with a fellow prostitute, Layla, who is 14. And both girls say the number of children involved is growing.
When I started at the age of 12, I could go into a nightclub. Maybe I can get 10 to 20 girls. At least you can count and know that one is a prostitute. But now there are many, all over the place. Sometimes I do get stressed. I ask myself, or I ask God, what have I done wrong? I'm still a child and I'm doing this.
3 years ago, a study by the UN children's agency UNICEF warned that there were thousands of girls like Layla, but that was before Kenya was plunged into political violence and economic crisis and a drought which has left 10 million Kenyans without enough food to eat. The author of the UNICEF study now reckons her findings are an underestimate.
The study pretty strongly demonstrated that it was approximately 30% of the population of children between the ages of 12 to 18 who were engaged in some form of sex work. The researchers that I worked with when I conducted the study all tell me now that they have a lot of visual evidence of increasing numbers of younger and younger children.
We had heard that resorts north of Mombasa were the centre of the underage sex trade, so we drove for about an hour to a village near the town of Malindi. And the scale of what we found left us profoundly shocked. Teenagers shelling maize told us it was normal for young children to sleep with African men in the low season to prepare for rich foreigners later. And the village elder was so concerned about his village's children that he sent several families with their 12 and 13-year-old girls and boys to talk to us. So we have a group of children here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of you. Can you tell me how many of you have had sex with foreigners on the beach? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 4.
4 of you. 4 of the 10 of you. Almost half. It was Fatuma's story which affected us the most. She's 13 now, but she says she was driven by hunger to sell herself to 2 European tourists named Andre and Thomas at the age of 11.
The first one, I did it 1,000.
1,000 shillings, so that's £10.
Yeah.
And the second man?
The second man, that day I didn't get some. He gave me 500.
He gave you?
500.
500, so £5.
It's very sad because my body is the temple of God.
Your body is the temple of God?
Yes.
With her mother's permission, Fatuma showed me the beach where she sold her body to the 2 white men. She told me about her routine on Sundays. In the morning she goes to church. In the afternoon, her family's poverty forces her here to look for more foreigners. And her mother claims she's powerless to stop her.
Fatuma goes everywhere because I have no food at home and no money to support her. I don't like her going backwards. I would like the child to continue at school and the white men to be prosecuted.
What makes what I've just heard even more shocking is that it isn't even a secret. It's widely accepted in this village that children are sold to foreign tourists for sex. And what's happening here is happening up and down the Kenyan coast, with thousands of children, possibly tens of thousands of children, involved. There are pockets of resistance. like this girls' football team set up by a Kenyan charity. Its motto, "My God is my strength, not my white man." But the school teacher in charge admits that 16 of the 35 girls she trained last year are now back on the beaches, selling themselves.
They take the child of Kenya just because we are poor. They misuse the child. Personally, it hurts me. I feel pain. Any foreigner found sleeping with a Kenyan child should be taken back to his country and never be given allowance to come to our country again.
The authorities know there's a problem. Look at the billboards. They hope a new tourist police force will be patrolling the beaches by the end of this year. But this is a country which fears that any attack on its reputation and innocent tourists, the vast majority, could be driven away.
We are going to take strict action on defaulters or criminals who are taking advantage of young children. As a parent, as well as a country, we cannot afford abuse of our children. At the same time, if it is publicized, blown out of proportion, it will destroy the same effort of eradication of poverty by destroying tourism.
But parents and charities say the time has come for the truth to be told.